The Storm class in Wizard101 has a total of 27 attack spells. In the actual game, which spells are more powerful is fairly objective. There's no question that Storm Owl is a stronger spell than Thundersnake is. But what about realistically? What would happen if you encountered these spells in real life? Basing these spells purely off of their animations, not taking the stats into account, I'm gonna rank how dangerous all the Storm spells would be in real life. I will not be covering treasure cards, utility spells, or PvP only spells. So basically just what you would consider the mainline spells. My list is going to be divided into 5 tiers. You're fine, hospital trip, you might survive, dead, and mass destruction. You're fine being the least powerful a spell can get, and mass destruction being the most powerful. Again, we're ranking the spells based off of their animations, not the stats. So let's get into it. We're gonna start off with Thundersnake. It's just a snake with some electricity. Electricity is gonna be a common theme in this episode, so let's put down some ground rules for it. Humans can survive electricity, depending on the voltage. While I'm not going to get too scientific with this video, it is important to remember that not all electricity is going to kill you, or even seriously harm you. I'm going to be making assumptions of the voltage of these spells based purely off of how much electricity looks like it's being given off. This being said, I'm putting Thundersnake under the You're Fine category, as snake bites are survivable and it doesn't really appear to be giving off too much electricity here. Lightning Bats. A group of bats come up to you and swarm you. This spell has multiple animations, so it's a bit tricky. The swarming animation I would say is in the You're Fine category, as it doesn't really seem too dangerous. However, the beam animation that's pictured now, I would probably place in the hospital trip category. Because of that, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in the hospital trip, to be fair to Storm. Storm Shark. Water appears and an electric shark pops up and bites you. This is more than likely enough to kill you. While humans survive shark attacks all the time, the added electricity in the water would most likely be enough to kill you. I'm hesitant to put this in the dead category, however, because I believe you could get lucky with this one. If the shark only gets a limb or something, I think you could survive. So I'm gonna put this under you might die. Thermic Golem. I wasn't sure whether or not to include these newer spells, as a lot of people don't really consider them to be a part of the main grouping of spells, but I'm going to anyways. Not sure what exactly is going on in this one. A purple liquid is shot at you and a little spark of electricity goes off. It looks like hardly any electricity at all, so I'm just gonna put this in the You're Fine category. Kraken. While the Kraken here is big and scary, he's just attacking you with a lightning bolt, which, believe it or not, the average human usually survives being struck by lightning. I'm putting this into Trip to the Hospital because it's still pretty dangerous. Tempest, the favorite of storm wizards everywhere, an AoE attack where waves come and hit your target. For being one of the more powerful spells in the game, this one's just kinda lame. Just another day at the beach for me. This is going in the You're Fine category. Stormzilla. Our little storm dino buddy hatches from an egg and grows up right in front of our eyes. Then blasts us with an electricity beam. This is one of those moments where it's really hard to say where this belongs. This looks like quite a bit of electricity, but the dinosaur causes no other physical harm besides the beam, so I'm putting this in you might survive. Stormwing. This is just the animation for Phoenix, but electric. The attack appears to just be a quick bolt of electricity, and it honestly doesn't look too bad. And I can say this with confidence because I will never be faced with this situation. I'm ranking this under Trip to the Hospital. Thunderman. Another recycled animation. This is just Evil Snowman. Not much electricity is used here, and you just kinda get swiped by a knife in your stomach area. This is going under Trip to the Hospital. Wild Bolt. This is just a lightning strike. And as stated before, humans can survive this, therefore giving this a spot in Trip to the Hospital. Triton. Getting into the more juicy ones here. A creature from the ocean appears and strikes you with a beam from his trident. This doesn't appear to be only lightning, but also magic here, and judging by how powerful and concentrated the beam from his trident looks, I'm gonna go ahead and put this under dead. Wow, our first dead. Stormlord. A literal god rises from the clouds and smites you. Due to the fact that this is such a powerful being, concentrating all of its power into one hit, as well as being an AoE, I'm gonna put this under the mass destruction category. Insane Bolt. 50-50 chance you get hit. If you get hit, I'm pretty sure you would die. That's a lot of lightning. Because of your chances though, I'm gonna put it in the you might die category. Leviathan. Giant sea monster approaches you and slams you with its tail. The sheer size of this thing and the fact that it's putting so much force onto you, I don't think there's any surviving this blow. This one definitely goes into the dead category. Sirens. This was a bit of a hard one for me. I really liked the spell. I wanted it to be powerful, but, well, you're just attacked by a group of sirens who sing at you and splash some water on you? I get sirens are mythical creatures with powerful voices and all, but the sirens aren't exactly putting you under a spell or a trance here. They're just kind of splashing you. So, while I like the spell, I'm gonna put it in the you're fine category. Storm Owl. A massive owl comes out and attacks you with lightning. Due to just how big this bird is and the amount of time you're being exposed to the shock, I'm gonna put this under dead. King Artorias. Attacked by a snake made of grape juice. Tasty. It does look like a lot of grape juice though, so I'm putting this in trip to the hospital, especially if you're allergic to grapes. Glowbug Squall. Attacked by some adorable, not at all minion knockoff lightning bugs. They get together and shock you with a lightning jolt. How original, right? While the jolt looks powerful, it isn't present for very long, so I'm going to say this is a trip to the hospital. Rusoka's Wrath. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyone else think she's just a little okay, never mind. Rusoka rises from the ocean in a lightning bubble and conjures a storm cloud, which hits you with a lot of lightning. There is absolutely no chance you survive this one. Dead. Iron Sultan. A big golem-looking creature drops down and laughs at you like the loser you are, punches the ground, and shoots electrical spikes from the ground directly in your path. Yeah, you're getting impaled from this, and you are absolutely dead. Scion of Storm. None other than Torrance the Storm Tree himself in this spell. You can be sure that he doesn't disappoint either. He creates an intense storm, and makes a full-on tornado to attack you. This spell is definitely in the mass destruction category, cause just look at that tornado. Sound of Musicology. An adorable hamster plays electric music for you? This is honestly just a nice gesture. Thanks for playing me a song, little guy. This is going into You're Fine. Dark and Stormy. The old one appears in a really stylish and cool looking spell. I honestly really like this one. It begins raining and the old one hits you with a beam of lightning. Due to how long he keeps it on you and the fact that it's raining, I'm gonna say this is more than likely lethal, but if you wanted to group it with You Might Die, I'd take that too. But for this list, I am putting it under dead. Catalan. A storm dragon attacks you with a beam of lightning. How many times am I gonna say that? He really seems to charge up this beam, and it stays on you for a while, so I don't think you're gonna survive this. Dead. Hammer of Thor. You're attacked with a hammer that allegedly belongs to Thor, whoever that is. However, the hammer doesn't really hit you, it just kinda hits a bubble or shield or something. To be honest, it doesn't look very lethal, but it might still hurt because it's a hammer, so I'm gonna say trip to the hospital. Catch Up the Day. This spell is goofy, and I love it. With all the shenanigans going on, you ultimately get hit by having a shark dropped on top of you. While this would not be ideal, I don't think it would be lethal, so I'm putting this in trip to the hospital. Beary Surprise. While not practical, I think the spell is cute. You either get mauled by a bear, or the user gets healed. There's absolutely no chance you survive getting mauled. And if that's all the spell did, it would be under the lethal category. However, the 50-50 chance of healing the user is going to put this under the might die category, because we have to take that into account too. Queen Calypso. I absolutely adore the design of this spell. Just wish the animation wasn't so long. Queen Calypso rises from the sea and creates a giant whirlwind which eventually turns into a tornado that attacks you. This looks incredibly dangerous and is going into the mass destruction category. Well, there we go. With Storm having 3 spells of mass destruction and 5 surefire deaths, was it as strong as you thought it would be? Maybe you would have placed some spells somewhere else. This is all just my opinion, and I would love to hear about what you might agree or disagree with. I plan on continuing this with other schools, so we can eventually compare the schools and finally see which one is truly the most powerful. Until next time, see you later, Wizard Gators.